Okay, let's kick this Facebook Live off. Good morning. I know I'm a couple minutes early, so I'm just going to jump in and let you guys, as you get in, you'll just catch up and you can watch the replay. So it's Wednesday morning. I'm here with my new live time, which is every Wednesday at 9 o'clock Pacific time. As you can see, I'm outside in the cold. It's raining. I have something that I have to be at in a couple of moments. And guess what? I'm still accountable. Look at the title of today's live. I'm still accountable to this live to you. And so I make it happen no matter what. So here I am outside. Pardon me if there's any interruption, but listen, this is a fiery topic today. I've been talking to people about this all week and I want to share it with you. So last week we talked about breaking promises, right? And how breaking promises actually erodes your self-esteem, right? It not only ruins relationships, it ruins your reputation, but it actually erodes your self-esteem. So what we're going to talk about today, really kind of speaks into that, right? So being accountable to your word is one thing, but how do you actually be accountable to yourself? Right? How do you hold yourself accountable to yourself, to your family, to your commitments, your goals, your God, right? How do you actually set yourself accountable and make yourself accountable? How do you build in accountability into your life? Here's what I want you to know. None of us are above needing accountability. None of us. I can remember years ago, a time in my life where I thought I no longer needed the accountability of my athletic coach, right? I was pursuing I am now a professional athlete. At that time, I wasn't. I was still competing on the national level. And I thought I could train myself. I was so wrong. I was so wrong in so many ways. It was such an amazing, humbling experience that God put into my life so that I could really coach into this from a place of experience. Because even though I had been a trainer and a coach for more than 10 years in the athletic world, it doesn't matter. Right? That's like an Olympic athlete just saying, I'm going to coach myself. I'm not going to have my coach. I'm not going to have my team. I'm not going to follow guidance, right? It's like assuming that you can catch everything, right? Assuming that you can mentally coach yourself through the tough moments, assuming that you can catch the things that professionals or people on the outside, people from the outside looking in can catch. And it's a wrong assumption and it's an amateur way of thinking, right? And so you'll hear me a lot talk about having a pro mindset, having a pro approach to the way that you do things. And this is what I mean by that. So I'm Jessica Perez-Beebe. I see that people are starting to hop on. Like I said, I know it was a little bit early, but I'm out here in the freezing cold rain. And so I just wanted to get started. So, here's the thing, what I found. The greatest leaders do not operate out of that amateur mindset. The greatest leaders operate from that pro mindset, that pro way of living, of thinking, and of, being in your life. And one of those main ways is they're accountable. They build in accountability, right? So how do I build in accountability in every way, in every aspect of my life? This is one of them. Right? I say to you, I'm going to be going live every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. I'm accountable. I'm not just going live whenever I feel like it. I'm not relying on my own passion or my own willpower. Because guess what? Willpower, passion, all of that, it's fleeting. It comes and it goes. It ebbs and it flows, right? And so relying on willpower is an amateur way of operating. And it's why people fall back on their promises. It's why people fall back into addiction. It's why we break promises to ourselves and to our family and to our own goals, right? Because who is holding us accountable? Who is holding us accountable? So the people that I often work with are already really driven, right? You're already really driven. You're crushing it in your personal life, perhaps also in your professional life. You're always the one that's typically motivating other people. And you're forgetting that you also need somebody motivating you and inspiring you and holding you accountable. everybody at the top has somebody above them, inspiring them up, helping keep them accountable, right? So helping you see what you don't even see, because here's what I found out about myself when I was just doing things on my own. The difference when I stepped into being accountable to coaches, to communities, I realized I had only been scratching the surface of what was possible for me. Same thing with you. If you are somebody who's driven, who's ambitious, and who's been able to put your head down and work really hard to get to where you are, and you've been doing that on your own, guess what? You are only scratching the surface of what's possible for you. You haven't even tapped in to what is really available to you, right? Because here's what happens. On the outside, to everybody else, we look like we're operating at a 10, but on the inside, you know you've got something more, right? You know it. You can feel it. You're really at a 7 or an 8. So that's what accountability will do for you. It will help you not only keep your word so that you're not ruining relationships, you're not ruining your reputation, you're not eroding your self-esteem. That is huge. At the end of the day, that's what we have. Right? That's what we have. We have our word. We have our reputation. And so that's important. But not only does it do that, but it helps you to get to the next level that you don't even realize is there. So yesterday was a huge day in my community. We graduated my group of students who got certified as a mindset coach using my proprietary method, the Get Set method. I think it just stopped raining. And so we graduated a group of coaches, and we're so super proud of them and everything that they went through. Isidro, I think you're on here. You're one of the students who graduated. Here's what I want to say about that. We had amazing content. We had so much coaching built into this program. But here's what I know for sure. Most of these people would not have graduated, would not have made it all the way through the 9-month program, would not have succeeded at the challenges and the benchmarks that we set if we didn't build in the level of accountability that we built in. Do you get that? It's not enough to just teach somebody something. It's not enough to just coach them on something, to just give them. This is why like these self-paced programs and things like that, or these weekend, workshops that don't have any follow-up support, that's why they don't work. Because you can give somebody as much education as you want. I mean, you can go out there online and educate yourself on anything, right? But if you don't have a serious accountability structure built in, people will fail. Even the most driven, ambitious of us. So accountability is everything. And so you get to ask yourself, where am I not holding myself accountable, and how can I put some structures in place to start holding myself accountable? Who can I hire? Who can I mentor with? Who can I reach out to and get support? Isidro just posted something beautiful recently. I hope you don't mind me calling you out, Isidro. And he talked about how the program he was just in with us over the past 9 months, he used the words "saved my life." Of course, my response to him was like, only you can do that, only God can do that. But what he's speaking into is so important. The reason he experienced our program as being a big part of what saved his life and got him on the path to where he wants to be and who he knows he gets to be, is because he stepped into accountability. Right? Like when you are ready for that, when you are seeking that, when you know that that's the next step for you, what happens is God puts the people, the opportunities, all of that in front of you. And then it's up to you to say yes, to say, I'm going to step into this. I'm going to do the work. I see the blessing in the accountability. I see the blessing in community, right? Because here's the thing in my group, right? It was hard. They had a lot of hard stuff to do. There was constant stretching and actions that they had to take, right? And mental barriers they had to get through. And of course, they have the mental skills, they have the mindset skills, the thinking skills that are built into our program to be able to help them get through the resistance. But at the end of the day, without the accountability, most of them would not have gone all the way. They just wouldn't have. right? And I see it. I've been in coaching communities for 16, 17 years now, right? I've coached in communities. I've been coached by coaches and in groups. I see it all the time. The majority of the people do not go all the way. So what are they lacking? They're lacking a really strong accountability system. And listen, if you're a leader, and I hope you are the leader of your life, you've got to take responsibility for building accountability into your life where you need it. So I have accountability in my business, right? Not only do I have my business coach, and not only do I have my accountability groups and my mastermind and friends that are also entrepreneurs, because that's who I get entrepreneur, advice or who I speak to about business. I don't talk to my non-entrepreneur friends about it or anybody else, right? Complete love for them, but you've got to be connected with people who are pursuing the same things that you are, right? You have to be. So I have my accountability there, right? I have my accountability even to my clients, right? I have and that I am able to get up on stage healthy and feeling great, right? So I'm accountable to my health. I'm accountable to my success in my business. I'm accountable to my spiritual side, right? I'm in community in church. I am, praying. I'm reading my Bible. I'm doing my whatever it is that means something to you. If you're serious about it, you've got to build in accountability. There is nothing in this world that you can accomplish by yourself. So how is this landing for you guys? Do you feel this? Can you already connect the dots to where you have been accountable? And so therefore you're seeing that kind of success. And can you see the gaps in where you need more accountability? One of the awesome things that my team and I are doing this year is we're holding several really high level, intense, 3-day intensive retreats, right? For peak performance. This is for the successful person who is really ready to stretch mentally and physically, right? Mentally and physically. I can tell you right now, being an athlete has given me a mental edge that has kept me completely calm and focused, able to eliminate distractions in all areas of my life. There's no overwhelm, there's no burnout. And that comes from a way of thinking and a way of operating. And it comes from knowing that you can survive physical and mental challenges. And so we're going to be doing some incredible things this year out here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and my team is working on that behind the scenes. We're going to have a big reveal about it next month, but you don't have to wait. If you know that something like that would really support you, peak performance, 3-day retreats for very driven, successful people who are ready to be held accountable and to be challenged mentally and physically. Just send me a private message and I will get you some of the early bird details, which will really hook you up. Okay, guys, I hope that this really supported you. Please drop in the comments anything that landed for you and any questions that you have, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.